Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, September 18th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with WWE news. The company yesterday made official the return of Saturday night's main event on NBC, which is set to happen on Saturday, December 14th at Long Island's Nassau Coliseum, site of the first Saturday night's main event back in 1985. The announcement was first made by Variety and later confirmed by WWE itself. The show is scheduled to simulcast on Peacock. This would be the first Saturday night's main event television special since 2008. In ratings news, AEW Collision set a new record for the smallest audience in its normal time slot on Saturdays, drawing 268,000 viewers according to Programming Insider. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .08, which is the second lowest demo rating for the show in its normal time slot. The episode finished in 7th place for the night among original cable programming in primetime. Monday Night Raw drew an audience of 1.564 million viewers to USA Network this week, according to the Pro Wrestling Torch. That's up from last week's viewership of 1.430 million. The audience for the first hour was 1.618 million, which fell to 1.541 million in hour 2 and then to 1.367 million in the final hour, for a cumulative loss of 251,000 viewers over the course of the show. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .49, up from last week's rating of .45. NXT aired live last night on the USA Network from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. The show ended with a contract signing between NXT champion Ethan Page and Trick Williams for their title match at the October 1st debut of NXT on the CW, with CM Punk coming out to announce he'll be the special guest referee for the match.
The people have spoken. This match needs a special guest referee. Ladies and gentlemen, I happen to be that man on October 1st, live on the CW for the first time, NXT. The title will be determined in a match, and the referee making the 3 count is CM Punk.
Punk also appeared during another in-ring promo segment with Julia and NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez, preventing Perez from attacking Julia with her title belt. Fatal Influence Triple Team Lola Vice following her victory over Jayce Jane, with Jada Parker making the save. TNA's Rosemary made another NXT appearance, teaming with Wendy Chu in a losing effort against Tatum Paxley and Lyra Valkyria.
Paxley! Tag! And Valkyria, like she's done in the past, looking to soar! And the nightmares continue for Chu and Rosemary.
Wow. Here are your winners, the team of Tatum Paxley and Lyra Valkyria.
In other results, Brooks Jensen pinned Dion Lennox, Eddie Thorpe beat Ashante the Adonis, Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander topped the no-quarter catch crew, and Tony D'Angelo walked out of his match with Hammerstone, drawing a countout. In more WWE news, Sheamus has signed a new contract to remain with the company, according to news broken yesterday on the Pat McAfee show. In a follow-up report, Mike Johnson reported that the new deal was for 5 years. And we close with some corrections. Unfortunately, we have some to make when it comes to our Tuesday review of Monday Night Raw. We mistakenly reported that Bianca Belair defeated Io Sky during that show when it was the other way around. And while Gunther had a prodigious reign as Intercontinental Champion, he currently holds the WWE World Championship. We apologize for the errors. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The wrestling news can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the wrestling news across social media. And that's the news for today. if anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the wrestling news. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.